Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the AJT Morning Show, and also Sneak Peek Wednesday, where you get to hang out with us for a little while and get to see just what the Average Joe Trading community and chat room is all about. So enjoy today. Hopefully, we'll find some good trades. The market will cooperate with us today, and we can just have a good time. But I do want to remind you, we are having a free webinar right after we finish up the Sneak Peek Wednesday. Should be right at lunchtime. So don't go anywhere. Just stay here in our room. I'll probably have to stop and start on YouTube because I don't think they'll continue to stream that long. But the easiest thing to do is just go to my website, AverageJoeTrader.com, if you're on YouTube at that time, and then just click on the icon and it'll bring you right to the sneak peek room, and you'll be able to catch the webinar there. And what it's going to be about, how I use trade ideas, how I use the scanners to find the stocks that I trade, and a little bit about the setups. So you get a pretty good idea of what I'm looking for and the strategy that I trade. Now, we won't get in depth in it. It just kind of lets you know what I do, and on a daily basis, and what I'm searching for. Alright, let me get this switched over here. Alright, so this morning, we're going to talk a little bit about the lottery mentality. Now, yesterday we talked about the backpack mentality and how, a lot of people have that mentality of, we're going to get started in this, but if it doesn't move fast enough for me, or they feel it's time to move on because they've been here too long, they're ready to go to the next stop, and you pack up and leave before you really get the full picture. And it happens a lot. There's a lot of people that have that backpack mentality. Now, the lottery mentality, that's a little bit, it kind of builds off of that. Because too many people are just spending money on something. They will spend money on a chat room, or software, or class, or workshop, or DVDs, or video, and then just sit back and wait for something to happen. They're waiting for the same results to happen to them that the person who sold them that so-called golden goose said happened to them. And you have to get out of that, what I call the lottery mentality. It's like you spend a few dollars expecting to win big, or blow up. Just like when you go and you walk in the convenience store and you see this, good looking lottery ticket, $10, and you got a chance to win up to $1 million. And then you look at the odds and they say the odds of winning are 1 in 1.49. So it's like, well, shoot, if I buy 2 tickets, one of them has to be a winner. Then you look at a little bit further, the overall odds, including break-even prizes, are 1 in 3. So that means, well, maybe I need to buy 3 tickets to make sure I win. But that's not right, because that's overall odds. You could actually buy 10 tickets and not have one winner, and then the next 3 tickets could be winners. The odds are just crazy. And then if you look at the top prize odds, it's 1 in 1.6 million that you would actually win the $1 million ticket. And so life doesn't happen like that. Trading doesn't happen like that. We probably have a 1 in 1.6 million chance of just giving somebody our money and then blowing up big. But it just doesn't happen. Something like that only happens to 1 in 1.6 million people. And it's just not feasible. So we have to stop waiting, for that winning lottery ticket. We got to stop waiting on the circumstances to change. We have to change those circumstances. And we can't keep sitting around saying that things are going to change, or if I keep throwing money at it, it's going to work for me at some point, or things have to get better. At some point I'm going to have to start making money. And it never works that way. But then here's a lottery again. But guess what? There's even a second chance drawing. So if your ticket is a loser, you can put it in, and you can get another chance at $1 million. I mean, how? It just doesn't make any sense. But I was caught up in that. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because I was caught up in it. I was one of these that were caught up in this deal where I started trading, started with my $1,500 bonus check, and got in penny stocks, and of course it kind of disappeared pretty quickly. And then the next thing I know, I'm trying to figure out how am I going to fund my account now. And so the easiest thing to do was, I'm sitting there looking at this lottery ticket. Well, hey, if I spend $10, I might not get $1 million, but I may get 50,000. I may get 10,000. I may get 5,000. So I started, going from, on an average, spending around $150 a week trying to win the lottery, to $250, $300 a week trying to hit a ticket. And look at the odds. Look at the odds. And then I thought about it. In trading, what are my odds in trading? What are my odds? I've got a 50-50 chance that when I get in the trade, it's gonna go my way, because stocks are gonna either move up or down. It's either going up or it's going down. So why would I waste my money on a lottery when I can keep saving it? $250, $300 a week. It won't take but a few weeks for me to get my money back. And why not put it in something that has better odds? But if I take the time and I learn what I'm doing, I can have a better than 50-50 chance. I can develop an edge. I can learn a strategy. I can understand how the market works so that I can put myself in the right position, that I have a better chance of being on the right side of a winning trade. So that was the thought process I had to go through. And a lot of people have this lottery mentality that they're looking for the next, golden goose that lays golden eggs. And if they can just buy it and not do the work, there's a chance that they can blow up. But at the end of that lottery ticket is you. You know, at the end of all that money you spent on it is you. You know, the only person you have to answer to in this is yourself. But yeah, I mean, you can make it in trading. If you want to be a millionaire, yeah, you can do it. You know, if you want to be a billionaire, yeah, you can do it. It's up to you. I don't know what you want. I mean, only you know what you want out of this. But whatever it is, you know, you can do it. You have the ability. You just have to develop the right mentality. You know, you have to realize that the person that you need to be to get there is inside of you. And once you get that, once you figure that out, and you start putting your focus on the right things, then things are going to turn around for you. And I can say that with 100% confidence because that's what happened to me. So let's get out of that lottery mentality and let's, you know, focus on the things that we need to do in order to get ourselves to be the right person, to help us be the right person we need to be in order to make it in this industry. But I threw this in there too because this is the same game, and this is even more odds broken down. You know, they sold 4,800,000 tickets. That's how many tickets are being sold. You don't think about all of this stuff when you put your $10 out there. I mean, it's just crazy how this thing works. All right, so let's look at. We got a pretty big list here to go through. So we're not in a hurry so much this morning. So let's go through and see what's what. Let's see, y'all. I didn't look at my earnings calendar this morning, so I have to go through all of these. Yep, Yelp is on earnings. ACIA. Yeah, earnings. FOSL, I believe, is on earnings as well. I remember seeing that. Zayo. Zayo is on earnings. Depot is on earnings, or no. Yep. That doesn't have much of a ATR. WSTC. This guy that keeps popping up is gonna drive me insane. Yep. Cody. We had a lot of earnings hits this morning. Yeah. Enough. reportedly eyes buyout after losing its cool. Alright, A&F is something a little different. It's not on earnings. I'm not interested in that. I've got enough earnings plays to where I don't have to worry about these other deals. Okay, EA. Yep. So we got a lot to deal with. NVDA has a higher float, so it's not going to hit my scanner. NVDA is on the gap scanner, but it's not going to hit mine because it's over a 5 million share float. So my scanner looks for stocks less than 500 million share float. Alright, so I'm going to move this over since there's so many and I don't have to keep looking at it all day. Alright, don't want to look at A&F. That's not in my wheelhouse. Francis, I look at whatever's on my scanner. If I have enough on my scanner, then on my pre-market scan, then no, I won't look at the gappers. I only move over to the gapper scan if I don't have any solid hits over here. So that's kind of my secondary thing. Yeah, Robert, we took care of those problems yesterday with Sure Trader. Alright, EA is at 103. Let's see. Oh yeah, we've got way up. I'll keep these on watch, but I don't really like trading stocks that's gapped up and there's no support or resistance over here. That's kind of a last ditch play. It's a little bit more riskier for me. But I will, trade it using the moving averages and stuff like that. But that's kind of my last choice when it comes to these trades. So let's see, INCR. So we didn't have much to look at there. See, INCR, we're at 49. So it looks like we're in this gap here. Let's see, we've got and it looks like there's a lot of headaches and a lot of traffic around. But sometimes when we're trying to fill a gap, we can break through this mess. But you can see it's reacting to this 51. That's kind of where it's hung up right now. We've already had the conference call, or it may still be going on now, not sure. But we've got a lot of congestion in this, a lot of traffic up ahead. Let's see, COTY. See what this looks like. We're at 1916. We're at 1858 is the 90-day. That's too far away. It's not going to get there. 1858. No, that's red. Colorblind this morning. Let's see. I think we may have a lot of traffic in this deal too. Yeah. I'm not interested in this one either. It's too. Not so much. It's kind of crowded. Whenever we have so many levels, you don't really have any windows. You run the risk of it not moving as much. Let's see, WSTC Plus, you can see it only has like around a 40-cent ATR. So WSTC. This one's at 23.10. So we dropped below the 200. I mean, sometimes it's easier just to remove these studies so I can see the chart better. Alright, so I'm looking for some price action that's up in this area. That's too far down. Yeah, I think we're pretty good over here. Alright, so this looks pretty good. I don't see it. It's got, pretty good range, but it looks closed up. Right now we're just in this tight window here of less than 10 cents. So not really sure about this. This is odd for the stock that has a 86-cent ATR, and it's got this small channel. It's not a whole lot of price action pre-market. So not really interested in that one. Depot usually doesn't make decent moves. It's just below $10, so probably won't deal with that. And it looks like NVDA may make the list. I may be moving over to the Gapper scan to check some of those out. We're at 3180, so we've got down. Yeah, that's another one. Just too much. It's just too much there. Yeah, I'm not saying that it won't move or it won't set up, but for me and the way I like to trade and the way I like to manage my risk, it's just too much. Let's see, FOSL looks pretty good. See, we've got down. Yeah, we don't have any more price action down here. We got to go all the way back to 2009 to find anything down here. And you can see, I mean, all of these levels are pretty much covered up. They are pretty much covered up. So I'm going to throw these in here just in case we wash out some more. So FOSL looks promising. Joshua, I'm looking at a 10-year daily chart. Not often do I have to go back, because you can see I set these levels, probably in 2014, 2015. But, I probably set these levels back here. But you can see the levels from 2009 line up almost perfectly with these levels from 317. And this happens over and over and over again. But I will go back 10 years if I have to find price action around an area that the stock is trading. Let's see, ACIA, let's take a look at it. See, we're at 42.90, so we've got below this, or we're sitting right on this level right now. This doesn't seem to. Let's see, 2705, that's the low. Alright, so do have some pretty decent windows in ACIA, so I'll keep that on watch. Yelp, I don't know about this one. We'll see. Let me take this off. Don't need that there. So we're around 26. See, we can go back and find some price action around where we're trading here. Alright, that kind of lines up with the daily. This one kind of lines up with the daily 200. Alright. Any day now. Let me see. Yep, I don't know. This seems like a lot of traffic in here. Not sure if this is going to give us a good move or not. Just doesn't look right. Alright, so let's take a look at Gapper scan here. I can bring this back down now. So we'll take a look at NVDA. Oh no, a trip. Okay, yeah, a trip just hit. We'll take a look at that real quick. Yeah, trip and wicks. A lot of these will hit after 9 o'clock. Yeah, hopefully this will open up a little bit more. Let's see, we're at 49. And so this is about the level it ran into pre-market. Let's see what it can do. Yeah, this may be interesting. So I'll keep an eye on a trip. And let's take a look at NVDA. And then that'll be it for the morning. See, NVDA is in this gap here. So we've got the high at 119.93. So we had a nice gap up. It has some room to run. Definitely has some room to run here. You see, there's really nothing. You can go all the way back 10 years. There's really nothing in this zone right here, in this window. And that's the window that it's been trading in, or that it is trading in right now. So NVDA would be interesting. I don't know. Yelp may be a buyout. I don't know. I know it's not on my watch. I don't like the. No, DC, I'm marking, the levels I'm marking are pivot points on the daily chart. And no, Mario, if it's not on my scanner, I'm not trading it. It has to be on my scanner. And we'll talk, I'll kind of explain more about that when in the webinar. But typically, if it doesn't hit my scans, then I'm not going to trade it for an opening range trade. Really, it's doubtful that I'll trade it at all. But I have to believe and trust in my scans. So ACIA, we don't have shares to short in SureTrader. So won't put that on my watch because I can't short it. So it wouldn't make sense for it to be on my watch. So what I'll be looking at, FOSL, ACIA, NVDA. No, not ACIA, TRIP. I'm sorry. TRIP, FOSL, and NVDA. It's kind of what I'm going to be watching out of the gate. The webinar is probably going to be right at lunchtime. With you guys, I'm not going to disturb the chat room. So the only thing is the scans will be frozen for about 30 minutes or so. But if you want to join in, it's going to be the easiest thing to do is go to the website and click on the morning show icon and come in that way. That's going to be the easiest. That's going to be the easiest way to go. No, not in YouTube. In the and technically it's in the classroom. The morning show that I do every day and the sneak peek Wednesday technically is in the classroom. I'm screen sharing the same screen share that you guys get. It's in the classroom where I do the morning show. So they see it's pretty much another chat room in itself. No, it's not replacing what we do every day, every Wednesday. It's not replacing our Wednesday classes. This is for the guys. This is for the guys that are in the morning show and joining us for our sneak peek Wednesday. But you guys can absolutely join in. You just have to come in through that way. Oh yeah. No, it's not going to be recorded. The webinar is not going to be recorded. It's just going to be just like the live presentation. I don't know, T-Dog. I'm seeing you post stuff. Well, I can't record it because you don't need to register for the webinar. There's no registration required. You just click on the button for the morning show. That's all you're gonna have to do. Yeah, but Omar, I can't record it because I don't have the I only get so many files that I can record, and I have to save those for our classes, for the day trade course and for our Wednesday classes. And I've already reached my limit, so I'm trying to figure out something. But Omar, it will be recorded on YouTube, so you will be able to catch it there. Because I will be streaming it live on YouTube. How can I tell SureTrader doesn't have shares too short? Alright, I'm going to change screen shares right now and I will show you. We're going to swap monitors here. Alright, in SureTrader and in SpeedTrader, or anybody using DOS, you can go to where is this? Is it under tools? Where is it? Oh, right here under trades. Click on short list, and when you click on short list, this trading limits box is going to pop up. And when it does, all you have to do is type in the ticker, like ACIA. If it has shares as short, it'll give you how many they have here. And if there's any margin restriction on it, it would be here. tell you if it's a high risk. Usually if it's high risk, you can only use either 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 margin. Interactive brokers will allow you to open an account with $10,000. So the key, when I opened my Speed Trader account, I was able to do it with 10 grand. So IB, I can open with 10 grand, plus I can use the DOS platform. And the only thing I'll be doing in IB is swing trading, because I'm taking you through the same process that I went through when I started trading. Once I got $10,000 together, I opened up a Speed Trader account, and then I looked at swing trading, and then when I would pull money out at the end of the month from Sure Trader, I would send whatever I was putting back into my trading, I would deposit it in the Speed Trader. So once I got, almost $40,000 in it, I started trading with Speed Trader. No, you can't day trade. Less than $25,000, you can't day trade with IB. So I will not be doing any day trading at IB. Once I've already opened the account, I just haven't funded it yet because we haven't made $10,000 in here yet. I believe it's 4-to-1. I'm not sure. The swing trading class is probably gonna come out either probably July 1st. June 1st was what I was thinking, but July 1st, and then I'll be talking about some swing trades. No, that was an overnight position that I got out of this morning. Somehow I was still in VRX. I thought I had closed it out, but I didn't. Would have been nice if it had gapped down, but it just was flat. It was just sideways, so. It would have been nice to wake up to a gap down. Would have made my day easy. So far, no problems out of my buddies at Sure Trader. So guess I'm good there. Let me do the full. There we go. Yelp. Yeah, I looked at it. I'm not interested in Yelp. No, it's not the chart I want. This chart. I'm not looking. Right now, I don't have a front runner. Nothing really looks good for opening range trade right now. We'll just have to wait and see what happens at the open. Alright, so Trip, let's go through the levels here on Trip. Like somebody had a couple people asking about it. We'll look at, let's see, Trip, and then NVDA. I'll look at the levels on it here in a second. Well, really, NVDA, there's no levels up where it's trading. We're trading in this huge window between 111.89 and 119.93 or 120. I'm sorry. We got a new high, 120.32 or something like that. So there are no levels of support and resistance other than whole or half dollar marks there. Now on Trip, we got 49.55. I'll just get it as close as possible. Alright. And then 50.76. And then down here got 48.52. 48.52. What's up, Mustang Sally? You know, there was a song, Mustang Sally.
Yeah, I know the song.
Yeah, so now you're Mustang Sally. No, not really. I haven't really talked about or gone through that still. Man, FOSL is running away. Let me put these. You know, that one, I mean, it just flat took off. 1545 is the level on this one. It's going to run into next. Well, it's close enough. Then we got 1612. And NVDA is falling off a cliff too. And then we got 1412. See, 111.89 is the next level that this is going to run into. But normally you don't want to see this. That's not what I want to see it. Because I don't typically trade these pre-market or going into the open. I kind of wait to see what happens. So what I like to do is I wait the first 5 minutes. I like to wait and let things settle, and then I may look at trading. See if anything sets up.
Yo.
And NVDA is going to be killer. I don't want to take it up. And I'm tempted to take this on the 2-minute candle here. If it sets up, but I gotta resist that temptation. It's just a bait, something to bait me in. Man, Trip has run up. All of these stocks are making huge moves on the first 5-minute candle, which a lot of times takes me out of any chance of trading an opening range trade on it. When it takes up the whole trading range on one candle, it kind of messes up the works here.
Cody.
Really? Wow. Unfreaking real. And I hope my daughter doesn't hit the house with her new car. Sounds like she made it out without a scratch. Alright, so I don't like this candle on FOSL. NVDA is working on a breakout here.
FOSL.
But we're not getting a strong push. Not really getting a strong push. So the opening range trades on what I'm looking at today just isn't, they're not materializing. The price action isn't really conducive to it. Now FOSL, this one would be close. The problem I'm having is this level of support right here.
Koji, FOSL.
If it wasn't for this, and then the RSI is, the RSI is good. It's not oversold. But this is what's giving me some pause here. So for me, I kind of have to wait and see how it reacts to this. And see how it's bouncing here. But I like the way it's selling off, so I'm going to look at trying to get in here. I only feel 60 shares for some reason.
FOSL.
It's ridiculous. I only feel 60 shares. Let's see if it comes back and taps me. $60 doesn't do me any good. Alright, now
X.
I'm in full. So my stop has to be, God dog it. As soon as I got in, it hit where my stop needed to be.
Koji.
$14.36 was gonna be my stop, but it popped right up there. Let's see if we can get through 14 though. That's gonna be the key. Let this candle close. And if we could get through this level, we'd be good. We would be absolutely fantastic if we could get through that level. This is trading kind of crazy. I may just have to stop out.
Cody.
Because we can't crack this level, so. Now, as long as we're under all of this, the trade has a chance to work. It has a chance. But my finger's on the trigger because if this really doesn't work, I'm going to just close it out. The price action here is not good. NVDA was a solid opening range breakout. That first candle really messed me up on it. And here again, this is one of the classic cases where we have a solid watch list. We have 3 stocks that have the potential. One made the move. So what the challenge in this trading becomes, okay, which stock is going to be the best? You know, what stock seems to be the best setup? This one didn't seem like it. You know, NVA didn't seem like it because we put in this huge candle. You know, we were selling off and then we put in a huge candle to the upside. And it just didn't seem like it was going to do anything. That we weren't going anywhere. You know, Trip, it was kind of in the same boat that FOSL was. I thought FOSL would probably be the best bet, which is why I took it. But it's not, you know, it's not cracking this level here. Because we have this and then we've got 14 and it's seemingly too strong to get through it.
Cody.
So I'm giving it a little bit of time. You know, because we're below these moving averages here, I'm giving it a little bit of time to see if we can crack this. Because if we can crack this level, I think we have a pretty good trade on our hands. That's a big if, considering how strong this has been. This is defended well. Wow. AAOI. Oh my gosh. I should have jumped in that thing. Yep, NVDA. That was the ticket. That was the ticket. So it seems like I've developed a habit of picking the wrong stock. So what I've been doing, I didn't do it this weekend because I just took the weekend off. But the previous weekend, what I've been doing is going back looking at these stocks to see if there's something that I can see that I'm missing. Something that I'm missing on the stocks that are working out versus the ones that aren't working out. And once I do that, I may be able to choose the right stock. Might be easier for me to choose the right one at the open. And the SPY is trading very choppy this morning. Seems to be kind of range bound at this point. See if we can get through 14. This is going to be the test here, is getting through 14. If we can clear all the supply zone, because we had this 14.12 level and then 14 whole dollar mark, which is a strong supply zone. We can get through that and get to the downside. This trade may be okay after all. But it's got to get through this. Now I'm watching level 2 because we're hitting that supply zone. And if we can clear this, we have to clear 14 by at least 10 cents on this candle. It's got to clear it. You need a candle to clear a level by at least 10 cents to know that we've gotten through it.
FOSL. Time.
See, our first target's gonna be
Cody.
1375 if we can get it. That's going to be my first target. Still not out of the woods yet. The trade is still not out of the woods because we haven't gotten away from 14. We're still caught in that gravity of the 14 daily level. What I'm saying is, it's like if you have a daily level, it's, let's say, the $14 mark here. That's considered a supply zone. You saw once we got through it and got around 14, we had a lot of buyers and sellers coming in. That's a supply zone. That's a zone where you have buyers and sellers sitting around waiting to take or get out of positions. So it can activate 10 cents before or 10 cents after, because you have people not sitting exactly on the level. It's like professional traders may not put their stop loss directly on 14, even though 14 may be their stop loss. They may give it 10 cents. They may give it 5 cents. So what we do is, we give it that 10 cent window, that 10 cent cushion. And if it can't break through it, and can't get away from it, then we're still caught in that gravity. And it looks like we were running into something here around 85. No, it's having trouble here. So kind of looking at this 2-minute candle, see if we're going to make a higher high here. If we do, I may just cover it. Based on the problems that this stock has had, I'm going to take the safe way out.
X.
Yeah, I really don't like how it's trading here. I don't like it at all.
Cody. Time.
Yeah, I may just dump it. That's a limit. I don't want to do that. I may just dump it all here. I can always get back in if it resets, if it sets itself back up. But I'm letting the price action tell me what it wants to do. So we're stuck in another zone here that I didn't see. And maybe I missed something on the daily chart. I don't know. I have to go back and see. So I'll take half of it off down here.
Cody.
There we go. We're trying to get through this. Alright. I'll take half off here. It's a little bit earlier than I wanted to. But I'm not sure if we're going to get down to where I want it to go. So my stop, put my hard stop in back at break even. So worst case scenario, I end up with the couple of dollars I got on this. Here we go again. I just don't understand Sure Trader. Why it won't let me put a stop order in for 250. It says, what does it say? Invalid. I guess I have to manage this manually.
Cody.
Yeah, I don't want to restart it in the middle of a trade. That's the whole issue. This is what drives me insane. But if we start to get a decent move down, then I can do it. We're too close right now. Alright, let's try it. I'm going to try it again. Alright, let's see. See if it lets me do a stop again. But what that does is it kills all of the levels I wrote on here. That's what makes me so angry about this I want to see if we can get, if we get to 1350. See if I get that. Put my stop. Back at 1406. Ah, gotta tell you. Why did it take both of them off? I'm gonna have these hot buttons on here this weekend. I haven't had time to get them set up, but I will definitely have them on, which will make life so much easier. So much easier for me. Let's try this again. Market 250. Let's see. 1406. Alright, now we straight. Yeah, they'll be it'll be fine. Okay, 1343 is the next level down. Of course, I can't fit it on here.
FOSL.
But let me put these back up here. 1412. So I'm wanting to see if we could get 1350. I know the level is 1343, but I'm looking to get 1350 out of this. Oh, that's what it was, Osvaldo? I didn't see that. Thank you for catching that for me. This is giving us a little choppy ride down here. But I mean, I have taken profit.
Time.
So I'm kind of okay with it, but would love for it to hit 50. I would, sometimes I would put it down on the level around 1345 or so. But the way this has been trading, it seems to, run into some support at odd levels on this thing. And it's trading kind of choppy, so we'll see. See if we can get there. Alright, now I'll be watching NVDA. So I got my stop in, so I don't have to worry about that. Off a bounce here, off a VWAP, or possibly the 20. And this will be a good one. I may have to cancel one of my orders. But if we do get a bounce here, this will be a good this will be a good stop to take to the long side, especially with the SPY bouncing and kind of trending up the way it is. But the key is you need to wait. You want to wait and make sure you get you get confirmation that we're holding this level. Because it can pull back and get back down and touch the 20. See, that's what it's gonna do. That's one thing that I've noticed over the last couple of months is that everything has been deferring to the 20 moving average. It seems to be the king nowadays. So it used to be VWAP for a while. Now it seems like it's the 20 moving average. And that's typically the key to any trade. So even though we may bounce off of the 20 here, I still would not look at getting a position on this until we were over the VWAP and the 9. If it bounces here.
C.
Now, one of the fears in this is that we get away. This runs away from us. So we still have another minute on the 2 minute, on this 2 minute candle. And a lot of times I'll look at the 2 minute chart to kind of give me an indication of if we're bouncing here. Now we could have gone in and taken a risk and say, okay, when it taps the 20, I'm going to buy for this bounce. And, that worked. But there are no guarantees. So it just depends on your risk tolerance as to, what you do in this. Alright, so this will be a confirmation to get in on this bounce. This 2 minute candle here. So I'll wait, see if we can, kind of confirm this. And that's kind of what it's doing right now. And so you could get an entry on this candle. See if it pulls. I don't think it's going to pull back anymore. But this is going to be the push up. that we're looking for, and try to get for it to try to reach these highs here. So you got to be okay a lot with these pullbacks. Because you got to give this some room in order to let it work. But this FOSL, it appears now the same way we look at whole and half dollar marks. There are traders that trade off a $quarter mark. So at 25 and 75, you can run into supply zones. And it looks like this was one of these stocks that, had that reaction. All right, so we're making a new high here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I'm going to cover the rest of my position now. No need to let it go back because I can always get back in it. I'm really not interested in this anymore based on the price action. So we did make a couple bucks on it. So that's all we can ask. If it doesn't follow through, you can see we're starting to trend up. Here we made a higher high relative to this candle and this candle. So instead of me waiting for it to go back and stop me out, it break even. Best thing to do would have been to just get out. So NVDA is still sitting at this level here. So now that I'm out of this other trade, I can kind of look to see if I want to get an entry on this. If it comes back and gives it to me. Because right now it's a little bit too far gone for me to jump in. I'm trying to relegate to trading one position at a time and not getting, going all over the place. But this was a good bounce. This was a setup that we were looking for. Ideal. Should get up to 118 without any problems there. Oh, thanks, Matt. But that's, you see that, you can see that in the price action. You can see that when it's happening. When you start making higher lows, you're starting to see that trend up. You see the same thing on the 2-minute chart. You're looking at kind of 2 time frames. So this would have stopped me out at break even. And because of how slow and how it's been moving, I wouldn't be interested in getting back in it again. I wish I'd have been here soon enough to catch this. Yeah, NVDA is gonna get 118. I hope some of you guys caught that. That was a beautiful setup.
AXDX.
Oh, nice, Thomas. And Andrew, both you guys, great job for catching that.
AXDX.
Alright, AXDX is hitting our reversal scan here. It looks like it already bounced. Oh my gosh, what is it doing? It's trading crazy.
TVPT.
Yeah, looks like it wants through that 118. Yeah, awesome job, guys, on nailing that NVDA. Awesome job on that. Nah, I'm not going. I don't think I want to get back in FOSL. Right? You may have an issue with how you're putting in your stop orders. All right. Well, we can look at that in class this evening. In our weekly webinar this evening, we can take a look at. You can kind of tell me what you're doing. Um, DC, it'll probably be between like 11:45 and 12 o'clock when we start. It'll be right at lunchtime. And yeah, Trip made a nice move down to the 200. It was a little choppy. Definitely wasn't a stress-free trade, but you're talking about 2 points. But now, I mean, if we get a bounce and a rejection, I will look to continue the trend down.
CBI.
So I'm trying to find an entry here from my old buddy AAOI. Since we fell through VWAP and then we came back, I wouldn't want to get in until I had another test of this and it held. Meaning it would go up. If it pulled back and it held VWAP, then I would look to possibly get a position here. But it wouldn't be a big position. It would just be, probably 300 shares to give it room to see if we can push up through the highs. But when it starts to lose volume like this,
CBI.
it kind of gets jumpy. And the SPY is selling off pretty good now. So one thing I'm not gonna counter trend at this point. FOSL is setting up, but to me, I think it would be more of a scalp, because you still have that 1343 level. And you see the low was a 1365. So not really feeling this one. Man, Trip is losing. I was looking for it to bounce, but it's losing the 200 already. Probably go test red to green here. I was looking for a bounce here, but it's gone. It's going to test red to green here in a minute. Wes, it probably didn't hit the parameters that I have set for my scanner. More than likely why it didn't hit. Let's see. Didn't hit the RSI extreme. I'm wondering if it was the ATR. Probably why it didn't hit. Yeah, maybe the float.
So.
Yeah, if it's got over 500 million share float, it didn't hit it. Yeah, it looks like things have kind of slowed down a little bit. So TSO doesn't really have a whole lot of volume. NVDA made that little push through 118 and looks like that might have been all the steam it had. So it may need to hold up until it gets some more steam behind it. The 9 moving average is still trending up. Yeah, Darius, it's testing red to green here. It's just kind of in no man's land for me. There's no clear direction yet. I mean, you can guess right. Ain't no doubt about that. Yep, still got 50-50 odds. Whether it goes one way or the other. You're exactly right. The NVDA is pulling back a little bit. I like to see it pull back to the 20, but I don't think, it may not have enough in it to get there.
UPS.
Yeah, if it bounced off the, had a clear bounce off the support. But the thing that concerns me with NVDA right now is that we're losing volume. And we're starting to lose some volume. And we really didn't have enough steam to get over this. We tried, but just couldn't get over it. We got what, 16 cents over it or so. Or 25 cents, and then it just couldn't hold over it. Fossil, I just I just don't like the price action in it. I don't like the price action for a short. Really, I'm not seeing anything right now that has any decent price action.
DWT. TSN. TSN.
Yep, NVDA is catching off of this. Now here's a flat top breakout, or you can say this is a bull flag forming right here. However you want to look at it, this is a bullish pattern forming. However you want to look at it. The way I see it, we've got a pole, then we've got the pennant here. That's the flag. And this could be a flat top breakout, because you tested this once, pulled back, tested it again. Now we're gearing up, we're building up strength. And this may be the pop and the push up to 119 today.
IR.
But a lot of these tickers that are hitting the reversal scan don't really have a lot of volume. Like DWT, it has some volume spike on the way down, but we're not getting it a whole lot on the way up. Now MYL looks like it's setting up for a nice trend continuation. If we get to close below the 9 here, that'd be a good sign. This is a slow mover, so it will be a nice slow roll back to China. See, and this is why I wait for confirmation. This is exactly why I wait for confirmation. You got a nice candle to close below the 9 here. Made it lower low. But then the next candle opens. We start to get bought right back up. So I always like to wait on confirmation. So far this morning, only one small trade.
VIAB.
Someone asked me about it earlier. They were asking me why this didn't hit the reversal scan. I mean, you see, you had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red candles in a row. But the float was over 500 million shares, so that's why it didn't hit the reversal scan. But I'm watching DWT. We're at, the $half mark right now. But then we have another level down here at 31.32. So we got one here at 32 fit. I mean 32.32. So I'm kind of watching how this one reacts. Looking at this, it's not something that I typically trade, but I like watching these to see, how they react. Do they react the same as stocks? Yep, says continuing to watch through this thing. Let's see what NVDA is doing. Yeah, couldn't push through it. It tried. So, I mean, we tried once, twice, 3 times. I really don't think it's, normally when a stock can't do that, we're coming back the other way. When it's tried 3 times, but I mean, there's no rule that says that. This thing can continue to gear up and trade sideways. The longer this thing trades sideways and consolidates, the more strength it's going to build in. Oh yeah, I know DWT is an ETF. That's why I said I don't typically trade those. But I like to watch and see how they react. I haven't really gotten into trading ETFs, but I like to sit back and watch how they react. I think AAOI like it's starting a downtrend here. It's trying to, but it can't quite do it because so I'm gonna keep my eye on that.
VIAB. VIAB. VIAB.
You wanna see this crack? Crack here. We make a new low on this dip, then we can reverse the trend here. But we're still trending up. Every time we make a higher low, we're continuing to trend up. Even though we make lower highs on the pushes, this is still considered an uptrend because we're not making any lower lows. We're still making lower highs. I mean, we're still making higher lows. So that would give me some pause. Now, as today would have been a little bit better. I was expecting a little bit more out of the day. More opportunities. NVDA was really the best opportunity out of all of them.
VIAB.
Let's see, VIAB is coming down. We've got a level here at, we're at 34.36. I don't know if it's gonna be able to see it on here.
VIAB.
Yeah, it's further down. 34.36. But it could bounce off of the $half mark. Yeah, so here's the early entry. But the problem is, look how the 9 has moved in. So the 2-minute is triggering an entry on this, but too close to the 9 moving average. The 9 would be my target.
INs.
So in this case, when I see something like this, this would be a candidate for a trend continuation on a rejection here at the 9. Because this is more than likely where it will get rejected. Let's peek back at AAOI. See what it's doing here. Price action is tightening up. Let's see, this 61.89 level is holding pretty good on this. So you're watching said VIAB. Let me see. I'm gonna see what mine says. It says I have shares as short. For VIAB. Let's see what AAOI is going to do. We're going to keep the same pattern going, or we're going to break it. So I wouldn't want to take it short until we got through this, until we broke the trend. Because if we do break the trend, I think we'll get a strong flush today. A decent pullback. Is this 61.89 level? It's not technically a level here. It was a high at one point, but it's holding true. I think the big deal in this is going to be this red to green test here. But I don't have the I wouldn't say guts, but I don't have the inclination to take this unless we kind of break. Until we kind of break this. One way or the other. Because at this point, you really don't know which way it's going to go. Yeah, let's go back and take a look at VIAB. Wow. This thing made a nice reversal. I wouldn't have taken it because the 9 was too close. But it didn't matter. It went straight through it. Straight through it. And this is a sign of strength. So I would not be looking for this thing to reject here just yet. This is a solid sign of strength. This thing blew through this without any second thoughts whatsoever. Well, I did not see that coming at all. mean, but the SPY is doing its thing too, so it's making its presence known. Yeah, there we go. We're breaking out of that. So we may be getting ready to make this run back up. As you see, we never did. We were still in the uptrend here. Even though we were making lower highs, we were making higher lows. We were squeezing this together. We were getting some consolidation. That's usually a sign of strength. And see, this 62.52 was support yesterday. I mean resistance yesterday. You know, daily, all day yesterday. Had a hard time getting through this. But you can see this is why I don't really use anything from the previous days. So we pull back here and hold VWAP, then I may look to take this up. Let's see my market clock. So I have to wait and see what this candle does. Yeah, so let's
$35 now on NYMX.
and it kind of got away from me a little bit. So I want to get in here for it to push up over. So the high of this candle is 62.70. So I want to get in here and look for this to you know, go back and retest the highs, possibly 64. But definitely want to see it pull up here at some point. Try to make this run back up here. So I would like to pull some off on a move through 63. We can get a nice move through 63. I like to get some, take some off.
shares of NYMEX off the highs now at 424.
Let me see.
Company disclosed information in a press release on Monday,
Let me see.
and now reiterating the teleconference today at 4:30 p.m. That's NYMX NYMEX now at 428, hit a high of 449.
So that's where I want to sell the first half. If we can get through 60, 63, that's going to be the struggle here. Is getting through 63. I don't like using hard stops on AAOI because of the way it moves. It can quickly stop me out and then take back off again. So this will probably be my last trade of the morning.
MYL, Mylan, says that it is in disagreement with FDA over process for approving a generic version of Advair. Says it disagrees that it's required to comply with FDA's newly issued draft guidance. Says manufacturing facility was inspected by the FDA in June 2015, as in good standing, was not asked for new studies, declines to quantify length of delay to launch generic Advair.
This is what's sucking. This is what's making this bad. We got a nice move up. You know, I guess we're due for a little pullback here. We had nice 4 red candles to the upside. But I wish we would have got that push up to 63 so I could take some profit. And I wouldn't worry about this pullback. IONS was a nice setup. You know, I had my eyes glued on this doggone
Iraq supports extension
AAOI.
OPEC-led oil output cut for further 6 months. That, according to an Iraqi oil source reported by Reuters now. Crude currently off the high at 47.19.
If IONS was a nice reversal setup. You know, hit the scan. It set up beautifully. I just had all my eyes were on this AAOI, trying to catch this push and run back up. Because 52-week high is going to be 63.68, which is here. This is a 52-week high. So I'm looking for a retest of this. The high yesterday was 62.64. That was the high yesterday. But I think I've been patient enough and waited and gave it enough time to, if it's going to build up enough support to get there, then we would have it now going into lunch. Come on, baby, push. Somebody needs to give it a kick in the behind. That's what they need to do. Yeah, somebody kick this pig.
CPRX, Catalyst Pharmaceuticals, announces poster presentation of MuskMG clinical data at 13th International Conference on myasthenia gravis and related disorders.
Couldn't do
Charlie
it.
Papa Romeo X-ray.
We tried. We gave it the old college try. Gave it the old college try. But just couldn't do it.
SNAP, Snap, more activity here. May 12 put sweep at the ask at 40 cents. That's ahead of earnings for Snap.
This thing just doesn't have the legs just yet. We need to pop through there in order to get this. It's got to pop through there. Not, it's not going to work.
President Trump says Comey was not doing a good job.
I'm going to bring it down a little bit. See if we can get hit at 63. Okay. Make me look like a fool, why don't you? Make me look like a fool. I'll take the rest at 63.50. This thing has me shook up like you wouldn't believe. 62.75 will be my stop. That's back at break even. Yep. All right, guys. It is about 11:30.
Bloomberg reporting that Saudis told OPEC they raised April up to 9.946 million barrels per day.
All right, I'm gonna have to stop the YouTube stream so that I can start it back when we start the webinar. Now, you guys can, if you don't want to watch on YouTube, you can go to my website, AverageJoeTrader.com, and then just click on the morning show button, and you could get right into the chat room, right where we're gonna have the webinar. So totally up to you, but I will be back doing this live here. Between 11:45 and 11:45 and 12. So I'm gonna be signing off of YouTube. Plus, you know, I don't monitor YouTube. So if you have questions or anything, I can't see them. So that way, you'd have to come to the chat room if you have questions and you want me to answer them. All right. So you guys on YouTube, I will be signing off, but I'll be back on within the next 15 to 30 minutes.